What's poppin', everybody? It's your boy Flows. We doing a video on Neji Hyuga today. That's my boy right there. I've been wanting to do this for a while, so we talking about his character, his conclusion, and an analysis on him all together. Not gonna talk too much, let's get into it. So to begin this analysis on Neji, let's start at the introduction and get a full understanding of him from start to end. At first, Neji is painted as a prodigy among prodigies, even stated by Lee that he is the strongest Konoha 12 at the time of the early tuning exams. Now moving to Hinata vs Neji, this is where we truly gotta look at Neji as a character and how he carries himself. He immediately breaks down Hinata, verbally hitting every nerve precisely down to the meaning behind each small gesture she makes. He lets it be known that he's seen through her already with his all-seeing Byakugan, which there has been misconceptions within the community. It was never stated to be a better visual prowess than the Sharingan, but only stated that it outclasses the Sharingan in its perceptive abilities. Now moving forward onto the fight itself, Neji goes on and on about how fate and destiny is set in stone from birth, and she's a fool for trying to go against it. And at the end of the fight, he tells her, "You can't fight your nature or change your fate, but you need not suffer anymore, be at peace." Hinata still doesn't give in to his talk. Instead, she hits him where it hurts and told him he's wrong, that she can see it now even more than her, that it's Neji who is torn and suffering, caught between the destinies of the main branch and cadet branch. It was then frustrated Neji rushed at her, fully committed to finish her off. Now here's where some people learn that there's more to Neji than just a sharp-tongued prodigy kid. This sign of frustration was showing the viewers she was completely right. Neji himself boasts and talks a big game, saying destiny can't be changed, but he himself wishes he could change his destiny more than anyone else. But he had given up hope long ago and decided to abide by the fate set in front of him, not questioning it. That's why he hates to see other people even weaker than him try to change what he couldn't. In the end, Hinata stood tall and started her path of changing herself despite losing to Neji, and this began the next part to Neji's character. His fight with Naruto would become a battle of ideals. Naruto, who is at the bottom of the food chain, who works hard climbing up, bent on changing his destiny, and Neji, someone with extraordinary power and talent, caged by his destiny, not willing to fly. Now at the fated fight between Naruto and Neji, it is quite clear that Neji outclasses Naruto, and while Naruto is on the ropes, Neji begins to question him to figure out why he is trying to go against destiny despite the lack of talent and skill. In Neji's eyes, he just doesn't understand how someone like Naruto could ever do what he can't. He boasts that his eyes can see abilities and talent and that they are determined at birth, and in other words, destiny is set from the moment you're born. Naruto questions him as to why he thinks the way he does, and Neji simply retorts, "Can anyone become Hokage if they try hard enough? Only a select shinobi are even considered for Hokage," which is very true. It's the cold truth. Not any person can just become Hokage through sheer hard work. While it's not impossible, it's something that not every person can attain. Only a select few shinobis are even considered, like he said. He tells Naruto, wake up to reality, that each person's life consists only of being swept along in this inescapable current of destiny, and that only one thing every human shares is death. As the fight continues, Neji closes off all of Naruto's chakra points, and seeing that Naruto refuses to give up, he decides to tell him of his past, the reason why he is the way he is today. Now the backstory of Neji is a huge key point to his character development and the way he dies. This is often very much overlooked when discussing Neji, which only further proves people don't truly understand his character. Because there's no way to dissect Neji's character without full understanding of what transpires in his backstory and how it determines how he dies. Now diving into the backstory of Neji, it starts off with him explaining the curse mark that is passed down within the cadet branch of the clan, which his purpose was to ensure the cadet branch would live for only one purpose, which was to serve and shield the main branch and to never disobey them. And the main branch quite literally held their lives in their hand, for the seal would not fade until death. Now the same day Neji was branded this curse mark was the same day there was a celebration in the Leaf in honor of an alliance pact being signed by the ruler of the Land of Clouds and Hokage of the Leaf to avoid war. Every shinobi was present during the celebration except for the Hyuga clan, which coincidentally was the same day Hinata, the heir of the main branch, had turned 3. It was also revealed that just because Neji's father was born a second later, he was relegated to the cadet branch, and so Neji followed, being the son of a Hyuga from the cadet branch. Little things like this is what only solidified Neji's belief in destiny and fate. For his father's fate of being relegated to the cadet branch was out of his power. He just so happened to be born second, and he saw that as his destiny was being written before he was even conceived. What's very funny about all this is, we know Neji hates Hinata as a teen and the main branch for what transpired, but his first thoughts of Hinata were actually, she's a cute kid, father. He was very happy to meet his younger cousin. Neji was a very happy child in general, and what happens next is what changed him. As Neji was branded with that curse mark, he didn't exactly lose hope or faith because he didn't understand the true depth of what that curse had meant. Until his uncle, Hinata's father, had used the seal against his father, and he was forced to see his father in agonizing pain, being told never forget your place again. Now Neji's starting to realize that fate threw down upon him for simply being in the cadet branch was something he had zero control over. It was only fueling his future belief on destiny and fate is set in stone before birth and it's inescapable. What happened next truly set Neji down on the path that he follows now, which was his father being murdered by the main branch. And how this came about was one night Hinata was captured. Her father, Lord Hiashi, rushed to the scene immediately and killed the kidnapper. And the person was the ruler of the land of clouds. It turned out that's what they were after all along, the secrets of the Byakugan. Even though it was the land of clouds' fault for doing what they did, they tried to pin it on the leaf, saying that they breached the contract and started making unreasonable demands. Almost led to war resuming, but the leaf wanted to avoid war, which led to a deal being made. They demanded the head of Lord Hiashi, which Konoha accepted. And pause, can we just realize how ass of a Hokage Hiruzen was? Like, Naruto would never offer up someone in his village as a sacrifice. But anyways, war was averted thanks to Neji's father, who acted as a body double for Lord Hiashi since they were twins, and this only happened because the curse mark put on the cadet branch closes off all of the secrets of the Hyuga clan as they die. As Neji finishes off his tale, he tells Naruto, though they were twins, equivalent in strength, the difference in being born first and second had sealed their fates forever. Now before we dive into the climax and end to this fight, there are some things to pick apart from within the backstory from Neji's perspective that led to his mindset he had growing up. Now Neji is extremely set on believing his fate is only that of being used as a support for the main branch, and what solidified this was the curse mark that was forced upon him for simply being born in the cadet branch, something he had no control over. Next was his father having to die in the place of his uncle simply for the fact of being born second. With what transpired, what rang through his head was his father telling him his purpose in life was to protect Hinata, the blood of the Hyuga clan. And those words were proven to him, seeing that he died in Neji's eyes in order to protect the secrets of the Hyuga clan. Neji had given up on defying fate or destiny. Because of this, he had decided you can't, there's no way around it, so I must abide by it. I'd be a fool to try to go against it. Now keep in mind, this is Neji's point of view. There is another point of view I will cover in just a moment. Now going to the climax of the fight, Naruto with his chakra closed out was forced to use his training and release a chakra of the Nine Tails to use in its place. Naruto and Neji traded blows briefly until the final clash where Naruto declares he will change the Hyuga clan once he becomes Hokage. Now after this clash, it seems like Neji had won. In reality, Naruto used a shadow clone as a distraction and delivered the final blow from underground. And this was a huge thing for Naruto and Neji, for it was a battle of ideals. Someone who believes you can't change destiny and someone who believes you can through hard work. And Naruto displayed that by defeating him with the shadow clone, the one move Naruto had failed at the very most within the academy. Now Neji defeated laying in bed is visited by Lord Hiashi, where he tells him of the truth. He lets him know that his father hated the main branch until the very end, but refused to die for the reasons of protecting the Hyuga clan's secrets, but instead chose to die protecting his son, his brother, and the hidden leaf. He wanted to defy the fate he was given, even if it was only that one time. He chose his own path, he chose his own destiny. At that moment, his father had truly felt free from the curse put upon him. Neji was reluctant to hear this, but soon accepted it. While accepting the truth, he vowed to get stronger and aim for a dream himself. Next, where we see Neji's newfound resolve is during the Sasuke retrieval arc where he faces off against Kidomaru. Entering the Kidomaru fight, we're able to see a visible growth as a character from Neji. He now has more determination and it's clear the influence from Naruto and the truth of his father had a huge impact on him. At the climax of the fight, you can see Neji almost give up as he says his chakra is too low, he can't dodge another attack. But what brings him back is the words of Naruto. People don't understand this, but Naruto drilling into Neji that he isn't a failure but a genius resonates with Neji on a different level. For the only other person he cared for, being his father, said the same thing, that he was blessed with the genius of the Hyuga clan. Neji wins this fight and lets it be known with his own words, fate isn't something for you to decide, and he refuses to die a death he doesn't choose. This is amazing character development for Neji, who once believed his life was predetermined and was only to be used by the main branch of the Hyuga clan. With the fight over, Neji was able to display how much he had grown versus the Naruto fight, and it's just great to see. Now for the conclusion to Neji's character. This isn't going to be long because the long part is already over. All that has been talked about until now was just the build up for this moment. The passing and sacrifice of Neji, the most talented Hyuga. From a child full of hope and happiness, to being branded a curse that changed his life and was forced to believe in destiny and it being inescapable, to having his mind changed by Naruto and told the truth of his father, to finding a newfound resolve, to displaying it in the Kidomaru fight, and finally to defying the fate that was put upon him by sacrificing himself to protect his comrades. At that moment, Neji felt what his father did, true freedom from the curse on the cadet branch. His conclusion was sad, but great at the same time. He was able to go out in the way that he wanted. He chose to die protecting his comrades, not for protecting the main branch, and that is the truth of Neji's character. Even after death, Neji's will lives on within Naruto and the others. Obito had closed in the Shinobi Alliance in a cage and compared it to the fate of the Cadet Branch, and stated a Shinobi's curse that Hyuga's main and Cadet Branch gave rise to, an existence where one could only await one's death inside a cage. While Obito mocks Neji's death and the curse of the Cadet Branch, his will gives form for the Ninja Alliance to break free from the cage and closing them. This was truly beautiful symbolism to really set in stone the theme of will. When Neji first lost to Naruto, he was told, even a caged bird when its smart is up will try to open the cage door with its beak, never giving up its dream to fly free again, and we were presented that very image. Hopefully people have a better look on Neji now as a character and can understand his death properly, because it's a lot more to it than, you know, just picking a random side character to kill off to make everything sad. It was a conclusion to his character, and I think they executed this just perfectly. It's truly what Neji chose to do, and I wish he was still alive right now so much, but he is not, and his character was completed thoroughly. A lot of people just, you know, are left hanging, and for Neji, I'm happy that he was given a conclusion to his character, more depth to his character, and honestly, I was happy I was able to make this video. And if you made it this far into the video and enjoyed the analysis and have a better look on Neji, or just happy that there's being more light brought to Neji, then, you know, hit that like button, comment down below, and subscribe. Tune in next time.